excited for this one, baby. Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. It's day 3 of reviewing all these Star Wars movies. Well, like day 8 because I'm not doing it day by day because I'm stupid. But either way, this is the 3rd one I've made. We're reviewing every single Star Wars movie that has ever released, and then we're going to do a big video at the end, so subscribe, turn on notifications, all that jazz to see that when it comes. But today we're talking about Revenge of the Sith, episode 3, and I'm just going to say it right away. This is Joe Marchione's favorite Star Wars movie. Now let me set the stage and explain to you why. Now I am 22 years old, meaning I grew up with the prequels, and most people that grew up with the prequels love the prequels. And if you see my previous reviews, you know I enjoyed those movies. You know, I gave some critical analysis because I'm a YouTube critic, but I went, pretty happy on those films. I went pretty nicely with my ratings. This movie, though, this is the film that I grew up with. It's the first Star Wars movie I really remember loving. I've watched this movie a billion times, and I love every second of it. And now I'm going to tell you all why. So Revenge of the Sith takes place many, many years after Attack of the Clones. The Clone Wars are waging, right? We follow Anakin and Obi-Wan, who are now full-on Jedi Masters. They are the best they've ever been. Anakin is a true badass of the Jedi Order, and he has been tasked with following Palpatine around because the Jedi no longer trust him. They think there's something weird going on. They think there might be a plot, and they think this war might all be corrupt and all this shit. And Anakin just wants to be on the Jedi Council and love Padme, and he's got all these different goals in mind, and he's slowly slipping down the pathway of the dark side. Because, of course, we all know Palpatine is Darth Sidious, so him being with Palpatine, watching him, the Jedi making him spy on Palpatine, is essentially throwing Anakin into the lap of the Dark Lord Darth Sidious. So we get a movie that's really just about the psyche of Anakin Skywalker. This is the creation of Darth Vader. This is the movie that George Lucas was building up to when he decided to make the prequels. It was this movie, this moment, Anakin becoming Vader, the downfall of the Jedi, the start of the Empire. This is that movie, and it's incredible. Now let me get it out of the way. Does this movie have a lot of really cringy dialogue? Yes, it does. It has a lot of bad dialogue and a lot of pretty mediocre acting. But hear me out. These are some of the most iconic moments in the history of film. Don't believe me? Come on, let me show you a few.
You turned her against me!
Don't make me kill you. Anakin, my allegiance is to the Republic, to democracy!
Hello there. I mean, come on. What do we do without these lines? What do we do without these moments? We don't have Star Wars. We don't have what we have today in film. These are some of the most iconic things ever, and they're good. I don't care what anybody says. Hello there. I fucking love it. I can quote every single line from this movie. In fact, I have done it. Very drunk. At parties. I've gotten 0 women doing it. So, maybe don't try it, but I've done it, and it was fun. There are some other problems with the movie. The CGI doesn't always work the way it's intended. There are some issues with this film that I will admit. But at the same time, this movie delivers everything you want in a Star Wars film. What do you want in a Star Wars film? You want a big soap opera drama, a tragedy, a Greek-like tragedy, the downfall of this character. You want the family drama of the Skywalkers. You want Obi-Wan, the brother of Anakin Skywalker, being so sad when Anakin falls to the dark side and he has to battle him on Mustafar. You want this scheming with the Empire and Palpatine rising, building his empire from the ground up and taking over the Jedi and Order 66 and the betrayals. This is what you want, man. This is freaking Game of Thrones in space. This is the movie that everybody wants when they think of Star Wars, and it's brilliant. You have this pretty complex plot where you have to understand how the Jedi, as powerful as they were able to fall due to one Sith Lord, and you understand it in their hubris, in the Jedi's inability to kind of see past their own pride and how they allowed for this very, very strong, but very egotistical and kind of pathetic man for Palpatine to rise up through the ranks and take kind of the galaxy over organically. And you see how Anakin, Darth Vader, who all these years, people watching it, I think this is what made kind of the visceral response to the prequels, is everybody thought Vader was just this badass, genius, unbeaten motherfucker. And when they learned in the prequels that he was just kind of this sad, naggy kid, right? This guy that was super powerful, super talented, but just was so egotistical, and he's just an annoying ass. I think that pissed people off and ruined their image of the character, but I think for me, that enhances what Darth Vader is. Yeah, he is this naggy little shit, which is why he became a big prick, for years. He was this giant prick, but was still had this soft spot for his kid, for Padme. And to me, it adds a lot more depth to the character of Darth Vader. For me, it would be a lot dumber if they just made him this very serious, badass dude who then became a very serious, badass dude who was just a bad guy. and then betrayed Palpatine at the end of Episode 6. Like, I think it makes more sense for him to be kind of a little bit of the opposite of what Vader was. Instead of being this quiet, badass motherfucker, he's this very loud, rambunctious ass, you know? I think it worked well, in my opinion. And George Lucas decided to take the route with Anakin of, like, how does he fall to the dark side? How do you take this character and make him actually fall? And they use Padme as the tool in this film. He has this vision where Padme dies, right? He sees Padme dying, and Palpatine convinces him that the only way to save her is to turn to the dark side, that there are powers on the dark side that will bring her back to life, that you can prevent her from dying if she dies. You know the scene. And he gets convinced of this, and he has it in his head, and then he makes a decision to turn, but you can see he's unsure of himself. The dark side has kind of swept over him and taken over him and in his mind and everything, but he's still a little unsure. And then he kills a bunch of kids. Yeah, that happened, but, you know, he's still unsure, right? He's not 100% sure about it yet. And then he goes to Mustafar, and you have the big fight with him and Obi-Wan, which is the greatest scene in Star Wars history. It just is. The whole freaking fight, the music, the whole, "You were the chosen one!" Oh, it's brilliant. The whole freaking thing. Obi-Wan beating Anakin the way that he does, how strategically written it was, that you know, the high ground, it's stupid, right? Oh, you have the high ground. It's dumb that that's the way that he beat him, but at the same time, it's smart because it displays the whole point of this fight, is that Anakin outclasses Obi-Wan in every single thing in this fight. He beats him in everything. He's a better sword fighter. He's better in the Force. He's just a stronger guy. But you know what happens? He gets too egotistical. He pushes his ego. Obi-Wan pokes at the ego, and it leads to his defeat. Obi-Wan should never have beaten Vader. Let me say that again, Kathleen Kennedy. Obi-Wan should have never beaten Vader, you dumb fuck. I'm sorry. We're not talking about that one yet. I'm sorry, Kathleen Kennedy, that was mean. I apologize. But he does in this movie, and then he fails to actually finish him off, which is stupid, but you get the whole scene of Anakin burning up, and then he becomes Vader, and then the galaxy's all fucked, and you had Yoda and Palpatine fighting, and you had freaking Obi-Wan and General Grievous, and I'm rambling about the movie, but it's just so great, guys. This is a great movie. The music, it's the best score. This, in my opinion, is the best score of John Williams' career from start to finish. The whole music. During the Mustafar fight, you know. Ba-ba-da-na, ba-ba. Ba-ba. That shit's fire, man. That shit's fire. It's crazy. The whole opening of this movie is great, with them, like, fighting in space and crashing in this ship and then fighting Dooku. And that whole lightsaber fight with Dooku is so underrated. It's just crazy and so over-choreographed, but that's completely okay. This is just a great movie, man. I fucking love this movie. I could talk about this movie for hours. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna torture you all with that, but I could. God damn it, I could. I love Revenge of the Sith. To me, when I think of Star Wars, like, people when they hear Star Wars, I think the older people, they think of Empire Strikes Back. I get it. I understand that. But I think anybody between the ages of, like, 20 and 30, when they hear Star Wars, when they think of Star Wars, they think of this movie. This is the movie that hooked us all. This is the movie that got us to love this. This is the movie that caused us to have our hearts absolutely broken when Kathleen Kennedy released this piece of shit. Sorry, I'm seeing a therapist, I'm getting better. God damn it, y'all fucked that up. But I love it. I love Revenge of the Sith. It's one of my favorite movies ever, and I'm going to give Star Wars Revenge of the Sith a 5 out of 5. Fuck yeah, it's a 5 out of 5. And if you don't think so, kiss my butt. I don't know what else to say. Maybe you're right, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. If you're Kathleen Kennedy, I apologize. I'm being very, very rude, and I just wait for the next few videos. Actually, no, the next few will be kind of nice. Wait for like a week from now when we get into some of that stuff, and we'll see. We'll have our talk, Kathleen. But I'm just kidding, kind of. Fuck the sequels, man. God damn it. That's the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of Revenge of the Sith down below. Make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. Make sure to turn on notifications to see everything when I post it. I'll see you guys in the next video.